There we go. Jeff, the last few weeks you've been running towards the front, and then it seems like in the middle of the race you have a struggle that sets you back. Heading into the final 10 races, what do you think is the biggest thing that the entire team has to improve upon entering the race?
Yeah, you can't predict some of those things that like happened to us at Atlanta, and we've had those things happen to us a few times this year, and it's just kind of the way racing works. You just hope that if it's going to happen, it happens early in the race, instead of happening like at Atlanta. It happened towards the end, and we couldn't recover. But I think that if your cars are fast enough, your team's good enough. I tell you, our pit stops have been amazing lately, and I feel like the communication between me and Steve has been really good. But there's things that we can improve on. I think right now we need to qualify better. We've not been qualifying good here recently. We haven't qualified good since Pocono, and not really sure what's going on with that because we qualified good earlier in the season. And we're known for being good qualifiers. So, that's something we got to really step up in the chase and get better pit stall picks and better track position at the start of the races. And I think when we do that, we seem to perform better. So, little things like that. There's a few things on our list. Trust me, nobody's more aware of the things that we've done good or bad than me or Steve and the rest of the guys on our team.
David did you have a question, David? Let's go to David and then to Mike Vega.
Yeah, Jeff, David Newton, ESPN.com. Earlier in the year, you ticked off a few people during some races and all, and I think a few weeks ago you said you were trying to be nice to some people. Do you worry about that coming back on you in the chase, that, the have-at-it boys and people taking revenge in the chase?
Sure, yeah, definitely. But there's nothing I can do about it. I made choices and things happened, and that's part of racing. It's happened to me, and and I've been on both sides of it. So we'll just kind of see. You hope that over time that maybe guys are thinking a little bit different about it, but I don't know. I can't predict that. Every time I'm around those guys, they race me really, really hard to make life difficult, and I expect that. But they haven't tried to wreck me yet, and I don't know if they're waiting for the chase or not. But all I can do is go out there and race them the same way. I still have to be nice to them, and that's not going to change because that if you rub them the wrong way, they've got more than one reason to get back to you and that's not how you're going to win a championship.
Let's go to Mike Vega.
Hey, Jeff. You just mentioned a little while ago about the season and how you don't know if it's the 24 or maybe the Hendrick organization as a whole that seems to have lost a little something here. But on the flip side of that, how much has your competition gained on Hendrick? You look at Childress, you look at Roush, Gibbs. It seems like all of those teams have kind of ramped it up now. And to what extent do you look at that, as a very real threat now going into the chase?
Yeah, every year you look at your own organization and how do you continue to step it up? How do you continue to stay on top when things have been going so well? We knew going into this season it was going to be hard to top what we did last year, and we knew that teams like Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, I thought was extremely strong at the end of last year, and I've actually been surprised at times, this year that they haven't been stronger, but they're really, coming into their own, showing their strength, and I think they're going to be really, really tough in the championship in these final 10. Childress, they've been getting their butts kicked for the last couple years, so they've really ramped it up, and that's what happens when you get beat down, man. You go to work. You really start to analyze what your competition is doing, try to figure out what you're missing, and you realize when you're an organization like Richard has there that you you got to make some big changes and whether it's in their chassis, their simulation. I don't know what it is, but they've obviously found some things and they're much better. And I mean, we look every season as we have to push ourselves very hard to try to still be one of the top teams out there, knowing that the competition is only every championship that gets won, they just gun for you that much harder. And I'm not saying that we're not still championship caliber for these final 10, but I do feel like we don't have the capabilities that we've had at this point. Like last year, I mean, at this point going into last year, we're feeling more confident than we are now. But I've been around racing long enough to know that so many things are going to happen over the next couple of weeks that's going to surprise people, that's going to really start to paint the picture. And and we might be a major factor in that, or we might not. We're just anything's possible. We'll have to go and see.
Holly Kane.
Yes. Jeff, is it particularly disheartening for you 11 other chase contenders to have a guy that already had 5 wins win the race tonight and really start off things? I mean, is that a super strong statement from Denny, or is it just, he was already strong and everything starts over next week?
Well, 10 more points. What the heck? I think that I think everybody knew that Denny was going to be strong here. It's one of his best tracks. They've found something lately. I don't know what it is, but I mean they've found something. And if they can keep that going into the chase, they're going to be very, very tough. I mean, look at all 3 of their cars were in the top 5 tonight. Denny was the dominant car. I felt like last week at Atlanta. So you got a short track, a big track. And so whatever they found, we hope that we can find something too. But I think that I knew they were going to be tough. The Gibbs cars, they run good here. But yeah, definitely on the inside, you want somebody that one is maybe not one of the guys you think is the best guy out there, and also somebody that's already got 50 points. You don't necessarily want him to make any gains on you. So, I was kind of hoping that I don't know, Casey Mears won tonight or something.
Go upstairs for another question. Go ahead.
Monty Dutton, Gaston Gazette. Jeff, Jimmy, in his 4 championships, Jimmy Johnson has never led the points at the end of the regular season. His last 10 races, he has an average finish this year that's better than last year. Yet there's this perception that he's somehow vulnerable. Does it seem like anything's different to you?
A little. I mean, I still think that those guys are the favorites just because of what they've done in the past. I think these final 10 tracks are great tracks for them. They're very capable of just stepping it up a notch. And maybe it's like Mike said, that the competition just seems to be a little bit stronger. It's not so much that they're missing anything. It's just maybe the competition seems to be a little bit tougher. And I don't know, is that accurate to say that he's never I mean, if he's had the most wins, then he was leading. So I think that depends on how you look at leading the regular season.
No, I mean in points at the end of the regular season.
Well, that doesn't mean anything anyway.
Well, the chase is determined by those points.
It is?
The 10 races, you go back to the same point system after these bonus points at the beginning of it.
Yeah, but you start the chase with the bonus points, so I think the bonus points are what really factor in there. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, the thing is, it doesn't matter what you did the last 10 races. You could have fallen on your face the last 10 races for little silly dumb things, that have happened, and still can go through these next 10 and be on fire. Racing's a cycle. Sometimes you go through your cycles, and that's why I never count those guys out with the 48. And you know, I don't sit here and say, yeah, Denny Hamlin's been the strongest car, won tonight, and he's going to go wear us out in the chase. You know, you never know.
Any other questions for Jeff? Jeff, thank you so much.
That pretty much settled it. All right, good. Thank you. Have a good night.
Jeff, thanks a lot. Good luck in the championship race. See you in New York, bud. Thank you. Yep. Let's give it up for Larry and Renee.